So in today's video, I'm going to be walking through all the problems you guys are having in the YouTube comment sections about downloading Paletools on either iOS, computer, or Android. So between now and the 6th of October, I'm going to be uploading a daily free eafc 25 trading guide. This will include everything to do on the web app to make as many coins as possible with both trading and investing. I'll be talking about the full release, what we expect to see regarding the market, and there'll also be a daily updated investing guide, all in there, updated every day for free. No gimmicks whatsoever, all you gotta do is click on the Google Docs link on the top link of the description. So in today's video, what we're going to be doing is walking through all your guys' comments who can't seem to download Paletools for one reason or another. I'm going to be covering all the comments regarding PC, Android, and iOS. Just because I could go and respond to them in the comment section, but I do think that video format is a lot more useful because you can follow it step by step rather than trying to visualize what I'm talking about in text. How the format of the video is going to be, we're going to start off by answering all the iOS questions, then going to proceed to move on to answering all the PC and companion app related questions. Finally, I'm going to end it off with all the Android related questions. So there are certain questions I can't really answer because they're just too vague, such as stuff like help, why is it not working? But when you guys come through with stuff like mine says JavaScript can't be used in this way, I know exactly what you're going on about. I know the problems you're coming across because I came across them myself. So first off, let's walk through all the problems you guys seem to have when downloading Paletools over on iOS/iPhone. So a lot of you have been commenting regarding soft bans, how to deal with them, how to get rid of them. So what we'll do is we'll start off by talking about this. This isn't really just for the iOS, but this is one of the most popular comments on the iOS. Before I explain how we can get around soft bans, let me just explain what they are. So EA puts limits in everything in FIFA. For example, you can only list about 3,000 cards every 24 hours. You can only buy 3,000 cards every 24 hours. You can only play 90 games every 24 hours. You can also only complete about 600 SBCs every 24 hours. There's also these sort of things for 1 hour. For example, you can only list around about 300 cards an hour. You can only play 16 games every hour. And you can also only complete around about 100 SBCs every hour. As a result, what happens is you come across soft bans. This happens because, for example, you can only complete around about 100 SBCs every 60 minutes, right? So, what happens is if you go and complete your 100 SBCs in, let's say, 40 minutes, now what's going to happen is there's still 20 minutes left of the limit, let's say. So, you're going to be soft banned for 20 minutes. And this kind of scales up to the 24-hour one. For example, if you go and do your 600 SBCs in 10 hours, you're going to be suspended for 24 hours. This is why there's different timed bans, because sometimes what will happen is you'll trigger the 1 hour ban, sometimes what will happen is you'll trigger the 24-hour ban. But there are ways around this, and the reason there's ways around this is because the bans are specific to the console or the web app or the companion app that you're playing on. It's why what you'll find, and again, I've had a lot of comments about, oh, well, I can't do any more SBCs on the web app companion app, but I can do them on console. That's because you're allowed to do 100 SBCs every hour on the console. You're allowed to do 100 SBCs every hour on the web app, and you're allowed to do 100 SBCs every hour on the companion app. And this actually gets even deeper, and that's because there is a kind of an untold, unwritten thing that there's a web app next gen and a web app old gen, a companion app next gen and a companion app old gen. And on the companion app next gen, you can do 100 SBCs every hour. On the companion app old gen, you can do 100 SBCs every hour. On the web app next gen, you can do 100 SBCs every hour. On the web app old gen, you can do 100 SBCs every hour. And if you really care, on next gen, actually on the console, you can do 100 SBCs every hour. And on next and old gen console, you can do another 100 SBCs every hour. You may wonder, how can I trigger the next gen for the companion app and the web app? Because you can't actually select it within the web app. Well, the version of the web app you're on is whatever was the last version of FIFA you logged into Ultimate Team. So for example, right now I'm on the Xbox, probably going to be the Xbox Series X. And because that's the last version of FIFA I was logged in on Ultimate Team, the web app and the companion app, when I log on to that, is going to be the Xbox Series X version. But if I wanted to go and log on to the old gen version of the web app and companion app, what I'd do is I'd log into this one, make sure I go into Ultimate Team, then back out, and now what I'm going to be triggering is the old gen version of the companion app and the old gen version of the web app. Now if you're not actually on next gen, there's no way of doing this, and for PC, there's no way of doing this, so you can't get around this. This is only for next gen who have the dual sort of next gen and old gen version, and that allows you to basically unlock the next gen, old gen web app. So the second comment we're going to cover is mine says JavaScript can't be used in that way. And again, this is a problem I came across when I was recording the tutorial, but I kind of worked out where I was going wrong. I believe what they're doing is they're holding it down and getting the link right here, and then they're dragging it onto the web app. Because if you can see what I do right there, if I drag it onto the web app, it says cannot run script, and I believe this is what they're referring to. But what they need to do is, again, they need to go to the bookmarks and simply just tap on it. And if you tap on it, you can see again, we didn't get any problem whatsoever. It's refreshed, and you can see at the top, we've got Paletools. So again, if you don't know how to get the Paletools onto the bookmarks, I do recommend watching the iOS tutorial, but I believe that is the fix for this. So to reiterate, the problem I believe they're coming across is they're trying to actually drag this link onto the iOS companion web page. But what they actually would just want to do is they just want to go and click on it like that. It will then refresh and then show them the Paletools. So we then get to the next question is, doesn't work for me, it keeps telling me to download it. I couldn't be 100% sure where this sort of question derives from. I think it might come down to that this person is trying to download the Android thing when it's actually, this is only for Android, because again, nothing else really refers to downloading anything. It's all just about copying and dragging links to your bookmarks. And again, the only thing that talks about downloading is this for Android. And again, if I go and try and click on this right here, you can see, do you want to go and download the companion app? Again, if we try and download it, it's just not going to work. And the reason it's just not going to work is because this is only for Android, not iOS. So I believe to answer that question is there just isn't anything to download specifically on iOS, because the iOS is just using the companion app on the Safari rather than actually downloading any apps itself, which is what you do on Android. And I believe that is all the questions covered for iOS. If you do have any more questions, just drop them down below and I can answer them in a future video. So now I'm going to go and cover all your questions about downloading Paletools over on desktop or Mac. First problem we have here is, why do I have to wait 30 seconds per SBC? And this has occurred because basically this guy has put a setting on. Now if you go over to the Paletools settings, you can see that there's something called babysitter. Now I believe this is just to stop you hitting the limits. I don't personally use it because I don't think it's very useful, but as you can see right here, it has a 30-second delay. He's obviously enabled it and it's only letting him do one every 30 seconds. Now get to this comment saying, what does babysitter do and how can I use it? Just covering on from the last one. Again, what babysitter does is it basically just doesn't let you go and do another SBC until 30 seconds has passed. You can see right here, we can't go and complete the SBC if I wanted to, and there is a bar going across the top, and that is how long until you can do the next SBC. Again, I don't really understand the point of this. I think it's to kind of stop how often you come across the SBC ban. Again, you can only do 100 SBCs every hour. I'm not quite sure really what it's useful for, because all it does is it just doesn't let you go and submit any other SBCs. If it automatically built the SBCs, it'd make more sense, but this is just a tool that I don't personally understand why people would use. It won't allow you to do any more SBCs than if you weren't using it. All it does is just makes the process of actually putting SBCs in slower. This person has asked the question, how do you sign out of FUT? So what this person is referring to is they'll be logged in on FIFA, or maybe they closed their console without backing out. They then try to log into the web app, but it said sign into another device. So then what they need to do is log out of FUT. And it is very, very simple. All you've got to do is back out onto the main menu. Now again, if you just turn off your console or just close the game, it still thinks you're in the game. But if you go and back out, now what I can show you is if I press refresh right here, it's going to go and let me in the web app instantly. So to log out of FUT, all you got to do is be an Ultimate Team and back out into the normal menus. Again, closing the game or turning off your console will not log you out of FUT, and you'll have to wait around about half an hour until you can actually log on to the web app. So we now move on to this comment saying, when I click T, R, and S, it doesn't work. Could you help me? Now, if you're not quite sure, why does this guy want to use T, R, and S? Well, T, R, and S is basically how you auto-complete these SBCs. So if I press S, it submits it. If I press R, it goes back to the SBC I've just gone on. And if I press T, it goes and puts all the players there. And of course, all I have to do is use this over and over and over again. Now, it might be because, again, this guy maybe hasn't backed in and out the first time he's used FIFA. But let's say, again, he's continuing to get this problem and can't continue doing the SBC or can't use the hotkeys. Well, then what you want to do is you want to head to Paletools. You then want to scroll all the way down, and what you're going to do is you're going to go and find the hotkeys. Now, the hotkeys will be very far down. And eventually what you want to do is get down to here, and what you're going to do is you're going to click on the exchange players, and you're going to press S there. You're then going to go to the building template, and you're going to go and press T there. And then I'm not too sure why, but I think it's probably because it's dual binded. But you then want to go to the send items and R. That should again also help you. The refresh, again, I think it's a dual binded key. So just make sure that one's also at R. That should hopefully sort your problems with the key binds not working. Simple fix right here. It says I need to log into Ultimate Team on FC, but I am. This person is basically logged into the web app with their wrong email. Again, to go and check the email that's linked to the account you want to use, you want to go up here to settings. You then want to go here to online settings and you want to click on the EA account. This will give you the email that's linked to the Ultimate Team you want to use, whereas this person is probably trying to use an Ultimate Team account that isn't linked to it, and as a result it's saying you need to log on to the game to actually be able to unlock the web app. Another thing I'd just say regarding my tutorial, because I've had a few comments on this, in my tutorial I basically go from talking about downloading Paletools on Tamper Monkey, and then I go straight into method 2. That's because basically once you've downloaded Paletools and TamperMonkey, it should work instantly. There weren't any added steps or anything I accidentally edited out. It's just I kind of abruptly went to method 2, and a lot of people still thought, well, how do we finish off method 1? So again, once you've downloaded Paletools and TamperMonkey, it should just work straight away. Again, if that doesn't work, then do try method 2. Now I'm going to move on to the problems people had with downloading it on Android. Because this is my newest tutorial, literally just released yesterday, I doubt we'll have too many questions to answer, but there will be a new tutorial at the beginning of the month in about a week's time. So because the Android one is a little bit different, the others you're basically just logging onto the web app via Safari, but for this one, what you're doing is you're downloading the app itself. One of the problems people came across was won't update the companion app, says it's not allowed to. So it comes across this problem if you have the legitimate version of the companion app downloaded. Basically, you can't have the legitimate version of the companion app downloaded and then go and download the Paletools version. Because they have the exact same name, it tries replacing the legitimate version and therefore doesn't work. So what I've gone and done right here is download the legit version just to show you guys the problem people are coming across. So if we go to Google right here and then click to download. Now this is like the legit version but with Paletools added. Because we already have the legit version, what's going to happen is we're going to press open and then we're going to press install, and it's going to come up with this problem right here. App not installed, the package conflicts with the existing package. This is because basically the legit companion app you have right here is saying, no, we don't want you to download the companion app with Paletools. So what you now need to do is you need to go and uninstall the legit version so then you can download the companion app with Paletools. And when I say legit version, it's not that the companion app with Paletools is like something dodgy, it's just obviously not the one that EA's released themselves. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go and uninstall this companion app. You can see right there, again, this is the legitimate one uninstalled. We're going to go back to Google, we're then going to click here to download, we're going to download again, and then we're going to open it. And now when we press install, you can see we didn't have that problem and it let me go and install it straight away. Now I actually did forget to leave the part about if you already have the legit version of the companion app, you need to delete it out of the video, but that's because I was only just getting to grips with the Android, but now we know more stuff about it, and again, that means you can't have the legit version downloaded, you need to uninstall that to then be able to download the version with Paletools. So then the final question we'll answer is, it says that the file might be harmful. Now the reason that it says that the file might be harmful is because it's not an official Google Play app. It's kind of like a third-party downloaded one, which basically means that Google haven't, run their tests through it and, legitimately released it on the website, which is why you have to download the app via Paletools' website, not the App Store itself. But again, there's been no reports of bans, hacks, or anything like that. It's just a kind of safety measure that Apple puts in there so that backs are covered, just letting you know that this isn't an officially released one, they've released themselves. And I would say that kind of wraps up the questions. Again, if this is highly demanded or if there's any questions I haven't answered, put them in the comment section of this and we can answer them in a video next week. At the beginning of the month, I will release updated tutorials. I already have some updates for how to do it on the web app. I already have some updates how to do it on the Android. So yeah, those will be released at the beginning of next month. But that's going to be that. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for the insane support on the channel. And I shall see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.